Welcome to Port St. Lucie, Florida, where tonight the Prize Fight Network takes a foray into the four-rounders. Hi everyone, I'm Mark Lichtenfeld, joined by Steve D'Amato and Jen Baronico, and we've got a great night of action for you. You know, if you're a boxing fan, you're always looking for that next great fighter or next hot young prospect. Well, maybe we'll see him or her tonight in that ring. We've got a series of four-round fights with some young, very anxious fighters. And Steve D'Amato, you were in the dressing room. Tell us about what the atmosphere was like.
Well, Mark, there's a lot of nervous energy tonight. We got a lot of stories going on tonight. We have an explosive women's fight coming up. We also have a hot prospect by the name of Troy Harden, who's making a lot of buzz locally. He's trained by Buddy McGirt. And we also have a 40-year-old heavyweight making his pro debut. I repeat, Mark, a 40-year-old heavyweight. So if we don't find the next hot prospect tonight, possibly we could see some very good fights.
We do have a women's fight that we want to talk about, Jen. Marisol Miranda versus Kimberly Tomes. And you know a little something about Marisol, having fought her in the amateurs. What can we expect tonight?
Absolutely. Marisol Miranda is a southpaw. She's slick. She's fast. She loves the uppercut. She loves to make her opponents bleed. She's been training with Bonnie Canino her entire career. She just recently made a switch. She is an explosive fighter. Her opponent took the fight on pretty short notice, but feels like she's absolutely ready for this challenge, and I'm expecting some fireworks.
And you know all this about liking her opponents to bleed from experience, right?
I never bled.
Well, we've got some great fights coming up, and who knows, maybe we will see the next hot young prospect in that ring tonight. So stick around. You don't want to miss a single punch.
Brought her along too quickly, and so Marisol has now made the change of trainers. And no disrespect to Bonnie Canino, because Bonnie's a fantastic coach. She was a great fighter in her own right.
The round number one, Miranda in the red trunks with white stripe, Tomes in the silver. Miranda's southpaw.
Miranda made the change to Gus Curran. You might recognize the name. He trains the heavyweight prospect Mike Marone, who's fighting tonight in Atlantic City. That's why Curran is not in the corner of Miranda.
Right, and Marisol's a southpaw.
And referee Frank Gentile warns Tomes for, I guess, a stiff arm. There's a nice straight left by Miranda.
And Kimberly Tomes told me that she'd like to keep busy and really use her jab a lot. And Kimberly comes from a Muay Thai background. She had quite a few Muay Thai fights, switched over to boxing. It was a tough transition to change her stance from the Muay Thai to traditional boxing. She hasn't been successful in her first two bouts, but she's looking for her first win here.
And although Tomes doesn't seem to have a whole lot of mustard on her punches, there does seem to be a slight abrasion on the forehead of Miranda. She takes a hard left hook. Miranda flicks out the jab.
And Marisol's 32. But she wants to be a champion. She wants to fight the best, but she wants to have a few more fights come up a little bit slower than she has been come up. She fought in, I believe, in Africa. Real tough fight. She had a fight in Guyana against Shondell Alfred.
She took a hard right hand right there from Tomes.
And she eats another right hand right at the bell.
Game, it's not too odd to get a title shot when you have under 10 fights, and you know it's very possible. I've seen it happen plenty of times.
Round number two of a schedule of four, Marisol Miranda in the red trunks, Kimberly Tomes in the silver.
It's true, Steve. It's not tough to make your way up the ranks because there's not as many competitors, obviously, as in the male divisions.
Neither fighter landing a real hard shot here in the second round, scheduled for four. Coming to you from Port St. Lucie, Florida. There's a good combination by Miranda. Miranda with her mouth open already, wondering if perhaps she's a little winded already. Actually, both fighters have their mouths open.
Miranda tends to lean in, kind of leave herself wide open at times.
Marisol trains, generally she spars with a lot of men. I know she told me she's sparred with Stevie Johnson, but when she spars with women, she's sparred with the heavyweight Kathy Rivers.
Wow.
And that's no joke.
It's a big weight differential, huh?
Yeah, Kathy sometimes walks around 200.
A couple of right hands by Tomes. Fighters clash heads. You often see with a southpaw and an orthodox fighter.
Couple clash of heads there.
Tomes was pointing there. No blood though. There's a good straight left. Both fighters landing that straight power punch tonight. Good counter right hand by Tomes.
If Tomes can keep Miranda off her and stay on the outside like she's doing, use her reach and her height to her advantage, she could be successful. She looks like she's doing it right now. When she comes in is when she has problems.
Round number 2 drawing to a close.
And I'd like to see both these fighters settle down a little bit. Plant themselves a little bit more, put a little bit more, sit down on their punches a bit.
Referee Frank Gentile signals the fighters together. Here we go, round number 3.
And Kimberly definitely looks like she's in shape.
And that straight right hand has been there for her all night long. Good uppercut by Tomes. She's doing an excellent job counterpunching. Every time Miranda comes in, it seems like she gets hit, although Miranda scores with a left hand of her own.
Keep it on her, Marisol.
Marisol definitely seems like she's the aggressor here this round. Up, just as I say that, Kimberly comes forward.
Straight left, Marisol.
Good left hand by Tomes.
Tomes doing the right thing here, circling away from that left hand, staying on the outside a little bit more. Every time Miranda comes in, Tomes moves to her side.
And referee Frank Gentile looking in on Marisol Miranda as she was fighting without a mouthpiece.
Not too safe there.
Good counter right. Very good counter puncher, Kimberly Tomes.
Marisol's kind of jumping in, lunging in with her left hand.
And as she does that, Tomes just waits, counters with the right hand.
Tomes has a little swelling outside the right eye.
Possibly from the headbutt.
Tomes goes to the body and then upstairs. And every time Miranda comes in, whether she scores or not, Tomes has an answer for her. If Tomes had a little bit more power, she might have Miranda in trouble with the volume of punches she's landing. But she's really not much on her punches.
She's putting together some nice combinations. Now it looks like there's a mouse on the corner of Kimberly Tomes' right eye, starting to swell up.
Round number 3 drawing to a close. Neither fighter has scored a knockout in their professional career. Tomes 0-2, Miranda 2-4 with 0 knockouts.
The fourth and final round. Let's hear it,
Fighters come together, shake hands. Beginning of round number 4. Kimberly Tomes in the silver, Marisol Miranda in the red. And Miranda comes out very aggressive here in the 4th.
Marisol threw a jab and then a jab and a straight hand. A few punches connected there. It looks like she's really trying to turn on the heat here.
Miranda throwing those punches in bunches, but they are those pity-pat type punches, so not doing a whole lot of damage. Good left hand by Miranda.
Tomes looks a little tired.
Yeah, this is not the fight that Tomes wants right now. She wants to keep Miranda on the outside.
Tomes does not want to engage like this.
Marisol's definitely doing better on the inside here.
Hard left hand by Miranda. And Tomes looks very tired. We'll see if she has enough gas to finish out the 4th round.
Marisol had about 3 left hands there that connected.
Now Miranda taking a little bit of time off, letting Tomes back into the round.
Kimberly's dropping her head down, leaving herself wide open to Marisol's favorite punch, which is the uppercut, although Marisol hasn't tried one yet.
She has been doing that the whole fight. A lot of times when she throws punches, she doesn't really look at her opponent, which is bad news.
And Combs eats a couple of left hands.
You wonder if she's a little hurt or exhausted. She's a little exhausted to me, Tones.
Yeah. I would agree with that. And she's thrown a lot of punches in this fight. Round number 4, and the fight draws to a close. Combs trying to mount a little rally here in the 4th round, maybe enough to win the fight.
And I tell you, the female fights always get the crowds going because these girls put their heart into it.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 4 rounds of boxing, we go to the scorecards. All 3 judges, Rocky Young, Ralph Vidal, and Toby Targan, scored them out 39-37 for the winner by unanimous decision.
Well, I'm not sure I can agree with that. I did not see Marisol Miranda winning 3 rounds. You can definitely